These stories out of Egypt concerning the Great Pyramids keep getting crazier and crazier. Ancient Egypt bombshell as Jesus Christ's body found in hidden chamber claims expert. British anthropologist Dr. Paul Warner claims to have found the body of Jesus Christ and the Ark of the Covenant in a hidden double cave under the Great Pyramid of Egypt. This isn't just some crazy claim that's online. This guy has actually been invited by Egyptian officials to work on multiple projects investigating the pyramids in Egypt. Warner claims to have used the scientific discipline of etymology to validate his hypothesis that Mount Sinai, the Mount of Israel, the Mount of Olives, Mount Zion, and the Quran's Mountain of Light were all one and the same mountain, the Great Pyramid of Egypt. He also claimed that Jesus delivered his Sermon on the Mount at the Great Pyramid. These claims are 100% false. The Bible proves it, history proves it, and even his ridiculous statements prove even more that the Bible is the truth.
First of all praise to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening. My people, let's get some rest, worship, and praises into the Father and Yahweh Shai's name, because He's more than worthy of such, and it is a commandment throughout all of our dwellers. Okay? It's just what it is. Well, whoever this anthropologist Paul Warner is, he just fulfilled what the Hamashiach said in Matthew 24, okay? Which we're going to cover. I think it's 24-26 as a matter of fact, that people, they, as he put it, would be saying he is here, okay? Now the thing is this: if whoever he is here, is not the Hamashiach, because we're going to see him when he does come. Okay, so whatever is here is not the Hamashiach. More than likely, it is the Antichrist himself. Okay, but while Paul Warner is trying to be great, like I said before, he just fulfilled the scriptures. You see. Because it is written that someone would say this, okay? And when we know the Hamashiach is not here. Because before the Hamashiach actually comes, okay? Which I have an image of these two brothers to the right of you, our ancient brothers, which is believed to be, let's say for example, the same two men that stood on the Mount of Transfiguration with the Hamashiach when his spirit left this earth. You see, and that is actually Moses and Elijah. And it is believed to be that when they come here, they come back, okay, as the two witnesses, they are coming first. You see what I mean? As the lawgiver, which is Moses, and also Elijah as the prophet, the representative of the main prophets, okay? They are coming back as the two witnesses, all right? See, and that's what is believed. The same two that appeared on the Mountain of Transfiguration, Moses and Elijah, all right? So let's get into this word right here so we can actually break it down, okay? So let's see here. Let's start over here and see these people trying to be slick. You can't be any slicker than the Most High. You can't outsmart him. It is prophesied that, somebody would say this. Now here in Matthew chapter 28, verse 6, after the crucifixion, of the Hamashiach, here in Matthew 28, 6, it reads, "He is not there, for he is risen, as he said." come see the place where the Lord lay. All right. Now, I think the two angels that was at that door, the one or two angels, I think it was, told these people that, when they wanted to see the Hamashiach's body after his crucifixion. All right. Now, Matthew 28:3. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake, and became as dead men. And the angels answered and said unto the woman, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Yahushua, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen as he said. Come see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Yahushua met them, saying, All hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshiped him. All right. So you see, this is the Hamashiach actual transfiguration of his fleshly body, which is not here. His body is not here. Okay. Now, over here in Matthew 24:25, the Mashiach speaking right here. Behold, I have told you before. Okay. Starting here in Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. What days? The days of the great tribulation before the Hamashiach returns. Okay. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert. Now, we know Egypt, over in that place right there, hot, dry, full of sand, and that is a desert. Goes on to say here, Go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Believe it not. That's where Paul Warner said they found the Hamashiach's body. In a secret chamber. See, he just fulfilled Matthew 26:25 here. Okay? No, 24:25 that is. He just fulfilled it. See, but what it is for us to do? Don't believe it. This man is a liar. Okay? Verse 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For whosoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. We have not came to this time yet, but we are rapidly approaching it. But of course, before we do, like I said before, we got to see the two witnesses. All right. Now let's go over here in Matthew chapter 17, verse 3. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah talking with him. Who's the him? The Hamashiach at the Mount of Transfiguration. Okay? Transfiguration is when the body is actually translated into the spirit. The Hamashiach could do that. And of course, Moses and Elijah, they left here before the Hamashiach even came. But here at the mountain of transfiguration, all three of them appeared. You see? All three of them appeared. Okay? Now, Matthew 17, verse 1. And after 6 days, Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah, talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be there. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were so afraid. Okay? This was the Father Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, talking about his beloved Son, Yahushua. All right? That's who spoke out of them clouds. So, people always say, Jesus or what have you, we talking about Yahushua, but he's known as Jesus. We ain't talking about no white figure right here. We're talking about a black man, okay? And also the real King of Kings and Lord of Lords, which is his Father and our Father, is the one that actually made us. The Hamashiach, not the Hamashiach, but the Father Yahweh himself, okay, is who we're talking about. These are not the same people. They are not as one in this, they are two entities. We have to understand that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High, living God of gods. All right? We need to understand that. It's two different people. It's not the same. But, like the Hamashiach said, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So he comes in the Father's image just as well. He looked just like his daddy. That I couldn't say it better. All right? Now, let's go over here in Revelations, where we are now, in this lifespan, in these latter days, in these end times, Revelations, which means to reveal. We have yet to see the two witnesses. When we see these two witnesses, we're going to know what it is. We are going to know what it is in this particular part in our lifespan, okay? And I do believe, it's not going to be long before they show up. I know one thing, ever since Three-Eye Atlas has, passed through the solar system, so they said, I still believe it's up there. But ever since then, we've been seeing a very, very high influx of so-called meteors coming to this earth. Okay? A lot of meteors. Wow. So many meteors. And you ain't going to tell me all of those are meteors. All right? See, so there's a good chance that the two witnesses, this is just me, expressing my beliefs. I'm not saying this is actually having these meteors or whoever. These are actually your two witnesses coming here. There's all kinds of things coming here. The Most High said that in these end times, there are going to be things coming up on the earth. He said it in Luke 21:26. Okay? But I'm saying there's a good chance that these two ancient brothers, which I believe to be Moses and Elias, or Elijah, or whatever, they are going to show up. And when they do, we're going to really see, them at work. All right? and everything's prophesied. Prophecy is just, you know what I mean, coming into fruition. All right, more so than ever. Now let's start here in 11, Revelations 11, chapter 1, and it reads, "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of Yahweh, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 40 and 2 months." 40 and 2 months is basically the time that is said of the Great Tribulation. These Gentiles, we all know who they are, you know what I mean? Kenites, Edomites, you know what I mean? Or whatever. All right, these so-called Gentiles, the one claim to be somebody that they ain't, treading down our holy land. All right, and that's what it boils down to. Okay, verse 3. "And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth." All right, these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. Okay, now who is the God of this earth right here? They standing before the God of this earth. When we say the God of this earth, of course we know the Ancient of Days, the Most High, Yahweh. He owns everything. But he remembered that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So the God of this earth is the wicked one himself, Satan. Okay? So these 2 witnesses are actually coming before the God of this earth. Okay? Now, verse 5, "And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will." Okay? Now we've seen some rivers. Y'all go ahead and type up, rivers that look like they turn to blood and see how many times this happened. And most I know all these plagues. Now we have yet to see these 2 witnesses come up. Some of the camps believe that, well, that's us waking up and actually prophesying and whatever. No, that's really not that. Because see, we don't have and when I say we, I mean as they, these camps, that actually believe that they are reincarnated prophets of old from the Bible itself, which are actually bug outs, because none of them have the power to bring about no plagues, and turn no waters into blood. Okay, so we can dispense with that foolishness right there. We're actually talking about these 2 witnesses that's coming to earth, which I believe is going to be Moses and Elijah. Okay, don't quote me on it, but I do believe it's going to be those 2 that stood on the mountain of transfiguration with the Hamashiach. Okay, verse 7. "And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them." All right, see, now this is what's going to happen with 2 witnesses, but they will be revived. Okay, verse 8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Now, they hated two prophets, these two, prophets that came, because they came with the truth. All right? And when you come with the truth, you are going to be hated for the namesake of the Hamashiach himself, because they hated him first. And what did he bring? What did he bring? He brought the truth. You see? And this is why they are hated. And so they are so glad that they think that these two prophets are dead, but they're not. Watch this. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Okay? Now, this is when the Hamashiach is coming. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and a 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the raiment were affrighted. They were scared, and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay? And the 7th angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord, and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever. You see, the Hamashiach is coming now. You see, he's coming. And hey, it is what it is. He's finna reign forever. This is a very, very interesting time that we are living in. Our great ancestor Ezekiel said he wanted to live in these times that we're living in now. Because it is very, very interesting, and it's amazing to watch scripture come to pass and fulfill itself when you look at everything that's been written. Now, verse 16, and the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped Yahweh, saying, We give thee thanks, O Lord Yahweh Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroy the earth. You see what's coming for them? Now, verse 19 here, and the temple of Yahweh was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. And speaking of ark of the testament, I think of the Ark of the Covenant, and they claim that's where they found a Hamashiach's body with, the Ark of the Covenant. Okay? I don't believe that the Ark of the Covenant is actually here on this earth. I think it's guarded. It's somewhere where the Most High will have it be. Probably somewhere where he is. Okay? I don't know. That's just me saying it. Now, to continue. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. Okay? You see what I'm talking about? So this is what it is, people. We have to keep the Most High's word in its chronological order. All right? We can expect the two witnesses to show up and show out. And that's just what's going to happen before the Hamashiach comes and fix things on this earth and get rid of the enemy. Right? And that's just what it is. All praise to the Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. I hope I said something to stimulate you guys' spiritual growth, and I hope you found the lesson edifying. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.